From DJ Akademiks getting pressed by Soulja Boy, to Funny Marco checking him for messing up the culture, these are the wildest, most heated DJ Akademiks interviews ever. Starting off with Gilly the King and social media influencer Wallow267 calling him out for not even being a real DJ to begin with.
I ain't no DJ.
If y'all don't stop,
You're not no DJ.
I'm a DJ.
When do you DJ a party?
Oh, I have to currently DJ to be a DJ?
Yeah.
Why don't y'all get on Dr. Dre's? Because he ain't never did no doctor in his
At
life.
the end of the day, you're not out DJing.
Not too many media guys are more plugged into the game than DJ Akademiks. He came up on YouTube before it was as big as it is today, and ever since he's been locked in, always dropping some inside scoop on the beefs and drama that keep the rap game moving. But not everybody in the game rocks with Akademiks like that. It's fair to say he's got more haters than fans. Gilly even called him out for always throwing fuel on the fire when rappers got that beef, but Akademiks, he sees things a bit differently.
There's rappers who are rapping about gangster shit that has gotten more streams on Spotify and Apple more than I've ever got in terms of views on YouTube for 10 years talking about beef. Beef is embedded in hip hop's culture.
It is.
That's why I feel like it's, to quote my whack, selective politicking, when if you gonna take Akademiks to task.
They all agreed that AK had a point there. But then Wallow called him out for always trying to challenge rappers to a fade, when he ain't even a gangster.
You always inviting somebody to pull up. Do you know how to rumble like that? Because you always invite somebody to pull up and get busy.
Okay, no, I'm glad.
And if things don't go right and it goes totally opposite.
What do you mean invite?
You always pull up. You the king of pull up.
Let me say this.
I'm not the king of pull up.
No, you always telling somebody to pull up.
Let me say this.
I'm not a king of pull up.
AK made it clear he never claimed to be a gangster, and then gave reasons why he be acting tough sometimes on social media.
Hey, let me tell you, I believe in self-defense. What people must think that you must need to be a gangster or anybody could do anything to you. I believe it's self-defense. They can show up and there's no problem because I don't have a problem with you. I will never do nothing to you. But if someone initiates a problem with me,
you got a license to carry?
Brother, all I'm just saying, man.
Gilly and Wallow were trying to put him on game about staying out of trouble, but AK wasn't trying to hear it.
I know a kid right now that's locked up because he murdered 4 mothers in their home. So hold on. So nobody ain't untouchable, bro. And you gotta.
That was not the point.
Listen, can I finish? You gotta understand that if you say you a civilian, then you should be a civilian. You gotta also watch the energy you put out there, because the energy that you throw out there is the energy that you receive back. If I'm a civilian and the so-called street, whether you feel as though they street niggas or not, I can check niggas in a better way than telling niggas pull up.
While that interview ended cool, this next one with Joe Budden on Complex's everyday struggle was too heated for even the third host, Nadeska, to calm things down. It all kicked off when Joe Budden asked DJ Akademiks if he thinks everyone should be speaking their minds.
No, I want him to answer my question. Everyone should verbalize their opinion.
You know his stance on this already.
Music opinions, of course.
I just want to hear
music opinions. If we're talking about some hateful speech, if you have those opinions, we would rather not hear that. But if you have music opinions on who you think is whatever, go ahead, verbalize it, please.
Don't cut. So what you're saying here is, if you're spewing hate speech, then no. And when you say hate speech,
I'm talking beyond the context of music. Beyond the context of music.
Well, so not talking hate speech. What about?
Joe Budden and Akademiks didn't always see eye to eye on that show, but this time Nadeska, who usually stayed out of the drama, was quick to call out Akademiks for his double standards.
Okay, whoa. He does talk about music. I'm just saying sometimes. No, shut the fuck up. Both of you.
Says who?
Says me. You talk about music and their personal life.
Wait. Where are y'all telling me I talk about what? I have a platform. Have y'all seen my last 20 videos?
All right, let's move on.
Cut it. Stop.
No, you're not cutting shit right now.
Stop.
At that point, things started getting disrespectful, and Akademiks just couldn't let it slide.
Have y'all seen the last 20 videos I have made? Yes or no? If y'all haven't, shut the fuck up.
You throwing
That's facts. So y'all think I talk about certain things because y'all don't listen. Y'all not informed. Y'all can't be speaking on shit just like y'all tell me not to if I'm not informed. Y'all not informed on what I talk about. Y'all watching Instagram. No, on some real shit. Y'all watching Instagram. Y'all have no idea.
Nadeska pressed further, telling Akademiks he do be in people's business. But AK was so fired up, he wasn't about to hear none of that.
Both of y'all don't even watch what I'm putting out.
I have seen your content, because sometimes when you have to book interviews, there are conflicts of interest. Because you talk about personal things.
If you've watched one or two videos, y'all gotta watch my whole entire content library. Y'all wouldn't even know I did music reviews.
I do know. I never.
Y'all watch one or two videos.
What are you yelling about? I never said that you don't talk about music.
First of all, Complex is straight numbers. Complex don't watch a video I do, so stop. Y'all just know my videos.
You're not even listening. You're
Second
just
of all,
literally
Joe don't watch my so y'all can't be putting what y'all
Who
think I
is
do.
y'all? I say you talk about
y'all
music.
brainwash a bunch of people who watches this and then say,
let me tell y'all this.
And then you know what they're gonna say? Oh yeah, he doesn't talk about music.
In another episode of Everyday Struggle, Joe Budden got heated with Akademiks for being in XXXTentacion's business before his murder.
Everything I tell him pertaining to that situation.
I'm telling you something. Stay your little ass away from his little ass. You know why? Because when it get real, my OGs is gonna have to come into play, and I'm gonna have to tell them, hey, Ak ain't, you know what I mean? Keep away from his little ass. They gonna hurt him.
That's on him.
Good, keep it on him.
Well,
Akademiks try to argue that reporting on Tentacion's business wouldn't affect X in any way, but Joe Budden wasn't having that. He straight up told Akademiks to keep his mouth off the street business entirely.
Right, so if you're saying
when Trippie Redd got jumped, we talked about it here? Yes or no? You want me to, yes or no?
If he was a big enough artist,
No, that's not true. They tried to talk about it here. You know who stopped that? I did.
We took it off the rundown.
Oh, okay, so time out,
YouTube media. There is a fucking precedent. I'm telling you that because you don't know the street.
But Joe Budden ain't the only one who clashed with Akademiks in an interview. Back in June 2017, Chicago rapper Vic Mensa pressed Akademiks for what he saw as reckless coverage of violence and Chicago hip-hop. The tension hit right away when Akademiks brought up Chicago rap, and Vic wasted no time letting him know exactly how he felt.
Within the music, and the music was a real-life depiction of that. Like, how did you feel about it?
I wanted to slap you in your face, honestly. And I'm just seeing you here, so I'm like, this is a tame environment, so I would keep it to my words, but I really felt as if people exactly like you sensationalized and made a following off of clowning situations that we go through in real life. And I think, you know, ain't had no right. You know, you specifically, like, you ain't never have a right. Like, whatever made you feel like you had a space to have a perspective on our people dying on a daily basis?
Vic's been hating the whole Chirac narrative for a long time. How people assume every Chicago rapper is or was a killer or some kind of gangster. And Akademiks, he built a lot of his fame off making videos about that scene. So when AK tried defending himself on why he be talking a lot about Chirac, Vic Mensa checks him yet again.
The truth, I really think you a bitch. Because
in what's that?
Because there's a video that you put up about a person named Trey 57 making all these jokes. Oh, here's another Chirac savage. Like, this guy's stupid. He messed with the Grim Reaper. Like, this is not a video game. That's a nigga I grew up with. I've known since I was 5 years old. And to see you come on the internet and like with this corny ass little voice and make jokes about it, like, you know, I was waiting to see you. And it's a couple people waiting to see you. I heard you say you didn't want to come to Chicago when I sat down, because you clearly don't, because you really couldn't even stand outside.
Now, Vic was talking about this video where Akademiks covered Trey 57 on his Warren Chirac YouTube channel. And he wasn't feeling the way AK was talking and clowning Trey 57. And even when AK tried to brush it off as satire, Vic wasn't letting up. He kept pressing him, calling him out with zero hesitations.
Wait, zero responsibility when I'm offering advice at times? And
offering advice? Who made you eligible to even weigh in? You sitting at a computer.
Everybody weighs in.
And typing.
Wait. Everybody weighs in on everything.
Typing about real life. You talking about real. What you know about that, bro?
No, doesn't everybody weigh in on everything?
Not in that way. You really built a following off of clowning our people that I really know. And you know what's up about it and why I said the things I said to you is because were we to be in a room, there's no cameras, there's no security, you see us, you wouldn't make no jokes. You wouldn't make a single joke.
This kicked off a 6-year beef between them, where they just kept firing shots at each other online and never let it go.
Akademiks, it's on sight for you when I see you. You already know you don't want to smoke with me. The whole world know it. They saw you up. I called you a to your face, and you are a to your heart. So, nigga, shut your motherfucking ass.
But back in 23, they finally squashed that beef. Vic let it be known that the Trey 57 video was what had him heated from the jump. And as for AK, he took accountability, admitting that in hindsight, he would have covered the culture differently. He also kept it real, saying his ego stopped him from making things right sooner.
What I think people don't realize, which this is what I took away from it, you know, there was a point you were trying to make that I probably wasn't receiving at that point because I was also fighting my own battles with accountability.
We're experiencing this in real time and we're losing our loved ones. And at the same time, somebody that is one of us, you know what I mean? A black person is playing the role that feels to us like, man, he don't even seem to recognize we're going through something real. You know, it seems like he's exploiting our pain. But
their conversation went on for over 2 hours, and it looks like it might be the start of a solid partnership down the line. But unlike Vic, who decided to squash things with Akademiks, Soulja Boy wasn't trying to make peace. He kept embarrassing and calling out AK on social media, making it clear there was no friendship in the cards. Soulja and Akademiks had been going at it online, talking crazy about each other, and one time Soulja even goes live, calling out DJ Vlad, Akademiks, and Adam 22.
I got time to nigga, Adam 16, say cheese, Vladimir, you a bitch, Rick Ross beat your Okay, DJ Akademiks, you fat piece of shit. You want your ass 6'9", huh? You donut pork chop eating piece of. Oh, okay. All you haters, right? This what we got going on. DJ Akademiks, if I punch you in your motherfucking stomach, pork chops gonna come out your asshole.
From those words, you can tell Soulja Boy was about to get on Akademiks' eye. And when he actually got to do an interview with AK on Complex, things got heated between the two. Starting with Akademiks clearing up Soulja Boy's claims that he was the first musical artiste on YouTube.
Like, bringing rap and
I was the first rapper on YouTube, bruh. The first artist on YouTube.
I don't know about first.
No, I don't know if you know. I've been to YouTube and I've been to their offices. They flew me out in 2007
to say thank you.
Yes, and they told.
That's after Crank that, bro.
Yes, and they told me that I was the first artist on YouTube.
Then it gets crazy when Soulja claims that he put Tyga and Famous Dex on the musical map.
All right, so let me finish real quick.
Cap. What's cap? You ain't had no bigger year than Tyga. He's saying he posted it.
No. Yo, you missing the whole point. Did you see in 2007, I put Tyga in his first music video in Donk.
He got a donk. Knew that till you posted a screenshot now, bro. Like,
that's because y'all don't know y'all history, y'all. So niggas need to learn y'all history.
So how did you put him on? Nobody knew
I put him in his first music video.
And nobody knew that.
When you watch Donk, 100 million views. Everybody seen that. They knew that was Tyga from GD Line and the Coconut.
And that's why they put his music?
Yo, stop playing with me,
Then Soulja slapped on Akademiks after AK questions him about teaching Drake everything he knows. Soulja wasn't trying to hear any doubt. He went off without holding back.
He know.
How? They said he took from you took from Shorty Low.
Yo, you sound retarded.
In 2005,
pull it up, no, it's a different line. It's a whole different line, bro.
It's the same cadence.
No, it's a different line. I don't give a f. He didn't take that line, but he didn't take that line from Shorty Low. He took it from Soulja Boy.
How you know he take it from Shorty Low?
Because he told me. Stupid.
So why you ain't give credit to Shorty Low?
Why I'm gonna give credit to Shorty Low when that was my line?
So Shorty Low put you. But
no, that was my line. It was a custom created line. It wasn't word for word.
That, by the way, but he put you.
Man, yo, you just typing in. You a hater.
That's not a hater. I'm trying to
You try to pull up, and you fat as. And nigga, shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah, now how you put him on? I wanna know how you put him on.
How I put who on?
How you put Drake on?
I didn't say I put Drake.
Eventually, the whole thing ended without them throwing hands, cause it did seem like it was headed that way. Yet Soulja ain't the only rapper he's managed to piss off like that. Earlier back in November 24, Quando Rondo, who signed to NBA YoungBoy's record label, sat for this interview with DJ Akademiks. And off the bat, things get turned up, with Akademiks talking about Quando having little man syndrome.
Huh? Like you admitting that there was a time that you had little man syndrome.
Like,
My little man syndrome came from being locked up though. My little man syndrome came from like being in a situation like that where to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm about to be a big dog here. Everybody gorillas, I'm a gorilla. Everybody lions, I'm a lion.
Then, when Akademiks tried playing devil's advocate, Quando thought it meant something else. So he got turned up on AK real quick.
I'm asking this in a devil's advocate way.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, I promise you, for you even just saying the devil name, I wanna just take these microphones off and walk out that door.
No, hold on.
Boy,
hold on.
I can't let you slide with that.
No.
This some devilish.
No, it's not devilish. No.
Moving on, Jeezy pulls up to Everyday Struggle with Akademiks and Joe Budden, where he checks both of them for profiting off the black community and the violence in it.
It's crazy because it's like you're critiquing some shit. These kids out here trying to figure their lives out, and these the same motherfuckers that'll be robbing your ass if they ain't have no outlet. These same people that'll be tearing up the communities and doing the real gangster shit out here if they didn't have that music outlet.
Joe and Akademiks tried making him understand that they're just doing their thing. But Jeezy has a problem with this.
Let's rewind a little bit. My whole point of case is that, you know what I'm saying, whatever you do, just do it with integrity.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Run off on the plug. We're gonna take this, we're gonna take that. But you laughing because it's funny, because you on the show. But you ain't saying shit when your little homie getting his head knocked off.
You're right, because that is one of the things.
Absolutely, I know I'm right. You ain't never been there. Like, you don't know what I'm talking about.
Later on Flat TV, Akademiks admits this was his worst interview ever and went on to break down exactly why.
The interview that quickly comes to mind, I know people probably think, oh no, the Vic Mensa interview, that's not it. The Jeezy interview that I did like on Everyday Struggle, I remember just kind of asking certain questions, which are just really good follow-up questions or whatever, and like, you ever watch the Beanie Siegel, when Beanie Siegel was talking to Charlamagne, he's like, yo, you're not qualified to ask me that. I'd asked him something and he was just like, yo, Akademiks, you ain't never carried none of these caskets. You ain't never been to these. I was like, whoa, brother. Like, I'm just trying to ask a question.
But not every Akademiks interview is about him. Sometimes the real heat comes from the guests clashing with other hosts. Prime example, Tekashi 6ix9ine. Back in April 2022, Tekashi 6ix9ine pulls up for this interview with Akademiks, Wack 100, and Hassan. From the jump, things get tense with Hassan making some wild claims that didn't sit right with 6ix9ine.
My whole thing is like this, right? If I was in your position and Nuke and Hov would have...
Everybody can say, should have done it. That you didn't say no, let me know that you would have did the same he did.
No, hold up. Let me talk. Let me talk.
Because it would have been immediately, I'm going to the people.
Yo, you trying to take away the sting of what I got to say. Listen, if I was in a situation... If I was in a situation...
6ix9ine is known for his music and for snitching on his gang, 9 Trey Gangsters, but Hassan was trying to say that if he were in 6ix9ine's shoes, he wouldn't have snitched because he never got caught lacking. But that shit got 6ix9ine pissed, so he goes off on him.
So King Von died lacking.
You hurt my feelings.
No. Hear what I'm saying.
May he rest in peace,
King
man.
Von died lacking. Nipsey died lacking. Pop Smoke died lacking.
Right.
So can't lack?
No, you can't.
All right.
Kill or be killed in these streets.
All right. So there's nothing to talk about. So when you say, yo, happen to you, don't
Why you, listen, why you...
6ix9ine makes it clear that even the toughest gangsters can get caught lacking, and then doubles down claiming that he wasn't loyal to them because they weren't to him, and that there's rats chilling all over the place without any worry.
The whole Harlem was applauding, oh, rats every me posting rats. Outpost walking around Harlem smacking the shit out of